Hi, my name is Joyce WBA champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so we're halfway through the month, and the IBF have finally released their new rankings. In this video, of course, we'll talk about the heavyweight division. We're still waiting on the WBC and the WBO. But that said, let's talk about the IBF. I've already done the WBA. Go check out that one, which happened at the beginning of the month, about first weekend, actually. So we're going to go through the top 15, as I would normally do. I'll point out any kind of changes compared to last month. We'll see what fights all of them have coming up, what fights they've just had, try and justify their positions, all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you are subscribed to keep updated with what's going on in the heavyweight divisions ranking process. Anyway, Oleksandr Usyk, of course, is the IBF World Heavyweight Champion. He also holds the WBA, WBO and IBO as well. Of course, he's currently over there in Ukraine defending his country against the Russian invaders. We have to wait and see what happens. Will that war end very, very soon and he gets to go fight Anthony Joshua for the rematch? Or is he going to have to sit out for quite some time? Will he end up getting stripped of the belts, be made as champion in recess? Will he vacate the belts? Time will tell. The number one position is vacant. Reason being, because he's waiting for the mandatory situation. We'll get onto that in a minute. Number two, King Kong, Luis Ortiz. Unbelievable. Number three, Philipperkovic. Number four, Anthony Joshua. Number five, Tony Yoka. Number six, Joyce. Number seven, Usyk. Number eight, Murat Gassiev. Number nine, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 10, Dempsey McKean. Number 11, Charles Martin. Number 12, Frank Sanchez, fresh insert. Number 13, Zhilei Zhang. Number 14, Hughie Fury. And number 15, Martin Bakole. So there are a couple of changes. Firstly, Joseph Parker has been dropped out of the top 15. Reasons being, who knows? I guess he hasn't paid his IBF sanction fee for this month. But fresh insert, Frank Sanchez, undefeated, 20-0 from Cuba. Looks very, very good. Could he be the real deal? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, he's trained by the legendary trainer right now in Eddie Reynoso. For those of you who don't know, he trains Saul Canelo Alvarez and quite a few others. Ryan Garcia, of course, has recently left that camp, and I think Andy Ruiz Jr. may have left now as well. I don't know. So Frank Sanchez is a fresh insert. So one thing that may stand out is that number 8, Murat Gassiev, is still in the top 15. And we question that because he's Russian. The sanctioning bodies, for the most part, have been removing Russian fighters from their top 15 rankings. The IBF have not done it. Murat Gassiev is there. Again, that's a debate for you all to have as to whether or not Russians should be ranked or removed. Is it fair to punish an individual because of what their country, their president, their leader is doing? Again, that's entirely on you. So there is that one. Now, Dempsey McKean from Australia, undefeated fighter, southpaw, has moved up 2 positions. Charles Martin has moved down 1 position. Charles Martin, of course, last time out, lost to Luis Ortiz, which brings us on to Luis Ortiz. He's currently ranked at number 2, which currently means the top position. Now, he was given first refusal to fight Philipperkovic, and he cited some kind of injury. Basically, ducked him, is what happened. He did. Because he says how he's fit and he's ready and he's able to fight Anthony Joshua if that call comes, but yet suddenly he was injured and couldn't fight Philipperkovic. But yet he keeps his position. That shouldn't be allowed. It should not be allowed. Moving on to Philipperkovic, currently number 3. Well, he's going to be fighting for that vacant number 1 position, which is the mandatory position, against Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang ranked number 13. So that's number 3 versus number 13 for the mandatory position. Reason being is because everybody above Zhilei Zhang turned the fight down. Well, I say everybody. Obviously, not everybody was offered the fight, such as Anthony Joshua was not offered the fight. Of course not, he wouldn't be. So that goes to show that, in my opinion, anybody who turned down this fight, like a Usyk, like a Luis Ortiz and a Murat Gassiev and Andy Ruiz Jr., need to be removed from the top 15 rankings. That's how it should be. Otherwise, what's the point in you being there? So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Philipperkovic and Zhilei Zhang. I'm hearing that Are they actually on somebody's undercard? Are they the chief support? I forget whose card it might be. I think it's actually, is it Canelo and Bivol? Isn't it? So this is the chief support to Canelo and Bivol. So that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? That is for sure. Number 4, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, is he going to fight Oleksandr Usyk next? Again, there's no time frame on war. War doesn't have a sell-by date. So the war could be over tonight, tomorrow, next month. It could go on. How serious could it get? World War III? We'll have to wait and see. We don't know. But at the minute, he could well be looking at an interim bout. Now, the favourites for this one are Otto Wallin, Luis Ortiz, again, both southpaws to try and keep with the southpaw, or Deontay Wilder, who I'm hearing from Lady Shan that Wilder has already turned that fight down, or not shown any interest. Doesn't surprise me. And of course, a Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce appears that he does want to fight. So the most likely one, in my opinion, will be between Otto Wallin and Joe Joyce. But I imagine it's probably going to be Anthony Joshua versus Joe Joyce. If the two promoters can put their differences to one side and actually speak like human beings, could well get that fight. Would Anthony Joshua versus Joe Joyce be bigger than Fury versus White? Eesh, I don't know. Don't know. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Anthony Joshua and whoever it is that he's going to be fighting. So outside of that, there's not too much changes. Number 5, Tony Yoka. Of course, he's going to be taking on number 15, Martin Bakole. That'll be in May in France. Why is it in May? I mean, why not April or something? I don't know why it's taking so long to get that fight done. Anyway, that's a very good fight. That's a fight that I'm very interested in, and I'm sure a lot of you are. Outside of that, nobody else really has another fight. Hughie Fury, I'd like to see him in contention with somebody in this top 15, or somebody in the top 15 of any other organisation would be fantastic. I do believe in Hughie Fury. I think Hughie Fury is a talent that a lot of people are sleeping on. I really do. He's taken a couple of losses already, but so what? They're all about learning, isn't it? It's not where you've been, it's where you're going. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Hughie Fury. But that's about it. No real changes other than that. Oh, Andy Ruiz Jr., number 9. What's happening with him? As I started off saying before, has he left Eddie Reynoso? Is he now with somebody else? Who's he going to fight? I imagine him versus Luis Ortiz could well be a shoo-in. So that'd be interesting. Be a very good fight, if of course it was to materialise. Anyway, that is the top 15 of the IBF in the heavyweight division. So not too much changes compared to last month. Not brilliant rankings. As I said, there are quite a few fighters there that I think should be removed from the top 15, especially if they were offered the opportunity to fight Philipperkovic and turned it down. You need to be removed, in my honest opinion. Actually, I think Joseph Parker was actually removed because he turned it down. But why wasn't Luis Ortiz? Oh yeah, because Luis Ortiz said he's injured. Good one. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.